Welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, a podcast from Yotseben and Friends, where we replay the entire Ace Attorney series with longtime fans and newcomers. I'm your host, Ben, and with me today is Dessy.
Hello.
And two good friends of ours, Tiago.
Yeah.
And Rose.
Hi.
Dessy and I are the longtime fans, and Rose and Tiago are the newcomers. We hope that through both of our perspectives as we play through the series, it will reveal new details and provide interesting commentary for a series near and dear to us. Today, we have all played chapters 8, 9, and the epilogue of Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. I would also like to apologize in advance that Dessy and I are just getting over a cold, so if you hear any coughs or sniffles, or if my voice sounds different than usual, that's why. Let's get into the summary.
Yeah.
As the final witch trial begins, Phoenix and Maya, who's now in a Goofy Knight costume to hide her identity because remember, she's supposed to be dead, do their best to wring as much testimony out of Espella. Unfortunately, she continues to insist she is the Great Witch Bezella, and before they can insist upon more time to investigate, the vigilantes step in and demand to testify. All 10 vigilantes testify at once, creating a cacophony of crisscrossing quotes. After using their testimony to establish that someone could have been hiding in the belfry, Phoenix and Maya then use the newly discovered second pendant to activate the tower's secret mechanism. Accessing the belfry, they find none other than Kira, still hiding there. Meanwhile, Layton confronts the very much alive storyteller in his tower after finding Espella's childhood bedroom, storybook, and a picture of young Espella and her best friend at the time, who looks very much like a young Darklaw. Layton fights some suits of armor and yells at the storyteller, informing him that Espella is being tried as a witch at this very moment. This is news to the storyteller. Back in court, we have, well, let's be honest, many twists and turns, with Kira, Darklaw, proving who was where in the belfry, who used an invisible cloak, who went up the steps, who didn't. But once you try to put Darklaw on the stand, since she's very suspicious, she says she can't because she's the Inquisitor on duty. Luckily, Layton shows up just then and says, well, I'd love to be the Inquisitor in your stead. Everyone agrees to this. After much back and forth, we drag the truth out of Darklaw and the first big secret of Labyrinthia. Magic is not real. She is the Great Witch and commands the Shades, who wear invisible cloaks and set up contraptions to make all the supposed magic happen at the exact moment it needs to. We shatter everyone's conceptions of reality in this town, and then Layton calls the storyteller to the stand. From his testimony, we get the second big secret of Labyrinthia. The storyteller is actually Arthur Cantabella, president of Labrellum Inc., a massive pharmaceutical company that is famous for its anesthetic. Arthur and his childhood friend, Newton Belduke, yep, that guy again, grew up in this town and discovered that the groundwater here contained a unique substance that caused people to fall unconscious when they heard the sound of pure silver being struck. This highly specific substance was also absorbed by the plants and wildflowers, which then produced a new substance that induced a state of hypnosis and high suggestibility in people. This was synthesized into the ink of the stories that were passed out at the parades, thus convincing everyone that the storyteller's tales were real and making them accomplices in completing the story. Additionally, the reason the town burned down in the legendary fire was because 6-year-old Espella rang the giant silver bell of ruin, causing everyone to fall unconscious during a bonfire and the fires to spread across the town. She was a child, and the insane fairy tale story that her dad told her about the witch Bezella imprinted on her mind, making her go catatonic. So he did what any reasonable dad would do: create an entire artificial fantasy town funded by the British government with mind-controlled subjects acting like medieval peasants that think magic exists using the pharmaceutical compounds that he and his childhood friend discovered.
It's so normal.
This is why Belduke committed suicide. He was racked with guilt over manipulating a town and putting them through this bizarre Renfear experience. Also, it's revealed that Belduke is Darklaw's dad. Then we realize that Espella's traumatic memories don't line up, meaning that her childhood best friend Eve, aka Darklaw, must have actually been the one who rung the bell. Despite this, Espella runs to the top of the belfry and attempts to throw herself off. Darklaw catches her at the last second, but the two still plummet towards the ground until they're magically caught in midair. Despite seeming to hover, they're actually being grabbed by an invisible mechanical crane piloted by none other than forklift-certified Luke. Another big secret of Labyrinthia is revealed here. Every single habitant was given the hypnotic command to not see anything that was pure black. As such, every single crane and mechanical device used to make the magic happen was painted with the in-universe equivalent of Vanta Black. Convenient. Espella and Eve/Darklaw make up, with Darklaw apologizing for helping with the secret 10-year medieval town and then trying to ruin it because she resented the storyteller for pushing her dad towards suicide. Then, the storyteller apologizes to Espella for, everything. He then reveals that he's dying from an incurable illness. He then reveals that he's not dying from an incurable illness because they just discovered the cure last week or something.
Christ.
I don't know. Why even bring it up?
Why even bring it up? Just say you're going to surgery.
Leave it.
Anyway, everyone's happy, and they go home. Also, Barnum is here, and he's piloting the boat.
He remembered how to drive a car.
Yeah, he got all his memories back, and he's like, I used to be a seaman. I used to drive boats.
A seafarer.
I used to wear my polo shirt with my collar popped, because of course he did.
It's so funny.
All right. Holy fucking shit. So the end of the game has so many fucking twists and turns, and it all kind of comes together, which is kind of insane.
There's an explanation for everything.
So let's we need a shorter recap of the main thing. All right.
I wish I could. I tried to condense this.
The whole time I was doing it, I was like, he's not going to be able to do it.
It's not fucking fair.
It's not possible.
Mission impossible.
Let's talk about what we were right about.
Sure.
The Truman Show.
The Truman Show. Yeah.
You were absolutely right about the Truman Show.
We were so correct. I was wrong that Espella was actually Belduke's daughter. Someone was.
Someone was.
But
true.
Eve was kind of also Darklaw. Or Darklaw was Eve. Sort of.
Kind of.
Eve was sort of the cat.
Darklaw is Eve, but
Eve is
the
just
cat
a cat.
Is not Darklaw.
Yeah.
That's
in the physical sense.
So alright, we gotta the history of Labyrinthia is so fucking confusing, but this is the exact kind of Layton-esque shit that would happen. So, there's some kind of substance in the ground that causes people who drink it to become highly susceptible to suggestion. And then, another condition of this substance is that if they hear the sound of pure silver, they fall unconscious immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. This substance, absorbed through plants, can be used to make a some kind of potion that very makes a person susceptible to suggestion. Now, here's my thought process during all of this. This is not a good environment to raise children. You cannot bring them to a location where the water they are drinking is poisoning their mind. Maybe all of this would have been avoided if, I don't know, you hired a nursery and you went out of here. Don't bring your fucking kids to this town. It's cursed as hell.
They mention that if you don't drink the water for a day or so, it's out of your system and then it doesn't affect you anymore.
Yes.
So it is very temporary, the chemical as it's in your system.
But it's so easy to create traumatic memories when you're suggestible to suggestion.
Yeah. And they say that everybody who's here has signed a contract. There is no contract.
So it was consensual.
There is no contract that you can make that is morally okay with what you're doing here.
Legally, now I know this is Britain, although we never confirm where exactly this lab is located. It's just Ireland. On the private property of the company.
Ireland is just like that.
I cannot. I mean, actually, you know what? Never mind. Now it makes sense. The British government would do that.
The British
Ireland.
The British government would annex property out of Ireland to fucking
yeah.
use for evil
it
government.
Would be crazy if they did that. I'm looking at you.
We're all looking at each other.
I'm looking at the British government.
I'm looking at Ireland.
God, I wish. Anyways, what the fuck? Contracts signed by minors are not legally binding. There's children here.
There's children in this village.
The children were
did
born
they sign?
here.
Wait,
No, were they
that's
born
a good.
here? Did they sign? How did they get in here? That's brushed over.
What? Ben, what was that show that you recommended that I watched called like Severed or something like that?
Severance?
Severance, yeah, the one where like when people go underground, their brain turns off, and then like an alternate personality comes up, and then that is their like severed personality.
Yeah, it's like their brains divided in half, a work half and a rest of their life half.
We have to assume that if you are living in this medieval fantasy town and you raise a child, like you get married, fall in love, get married, have a child, that child is a production of an evil government conspiracy, and then you like wake up, right? Like you're like, oh, by the way, I'm actually like a banker, and now I have a son. Like I have this child who was born in a world without technology. What can you imagine what a speller's fucking education was like? I can't. Like, does she know about like fucking sulfuric acid?
I mean, this town's been going on for about 10 years, roughly.
Anyway, a huge accident occurred in which that, like, Belduke and the storyteller did not know that the silver condition existed. They excavated a silver bell from an ancient civilization that thought that silver was evil.
The cursed bell that ancient civilization left all those notes. It was like, don't fucking touch this bell.
They couldn't read it, though. They didn't know.
Yeah, they were like, we couldn't read it at the time, so we thought it was just pretty. We were like, let's put it in the tower.
Ancient civilization, why didn't you do, like, literally anything else? You could have melted it, you could have... Like,
this is not a place of honor. Nothing that is respected is here.
They made, like, a sick-ass temple with fun puzzles to solve instead of, like...
If you're ringing it, you're opening yourself to being invaded.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Literally true.
That is kind of what Espella thinks happened. Poor Espella. Don't tell your children, like, weird fucked up fairy tales. They might believe some of them.
Yeah.
Like, this is like Elf on the Shelf syndrome or whatever.
This is Elf on the Shelf syndrome brought to, like, the millionth degree.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like, your children become terrified of a stuffed doll and believe that it's constantly watching them and judging their sins.
So, this town also just happens to have a fire festival where they worship fire to ward off the evil witch that doesn't exist.
Everybody loves a fire festival.
We all love a fire festival.
Except for that one.
The one where, like, Espella and Eve Darklaw. We gotta, like, separate, like, Eve Cat and then there's Eve Darklaw, right?
We can just keep calling her Darklaw.
Eve Belduke is her.
Eve Belduke. Yeah, whatever makes it easier.
Darklaw, childhood friend of Espella, and they both have, like, the pendant to allow them to unlock the evil lament configuration to go up to the bell tower. Espella goes, we snuck up here to ring the bell during the fire festival because I think it'd make a pretty sound. However, I'm scared now because my daddy told me that if I rung it, an evil witch would possess me. So I don't want to do it no more. And then Darklaw, who's like 2 years older, is like, that's stupid. The fairy tales don't exist. I'm gonna ring this fucking bell. And then she does. Everyone falls unconscious during a very lit bonfire festival. The entire city burns, and Espella and Darklaw develop very traumatic memories.
PTSD.
Both of their mothers are in the town and die, which is implied that they kill their own mothers in this fire. Don't address that,
but never explicitly stated, right?
Yeah.
This is somehow the darkest thing that I can recall from, like, both Layton and Phoenix Wright. This really fucked me up, actually.
But Espella attempts to kill herself on screen and is only stopped by camouflage outfit. Yeah.
And like, oh my fucking god! I like, we have to investigate. We have to like make some. Oh, we have to like talk about like. So that's like that happened 10 years ago, and then we have to discuss the fucking incidents with a storyteller. The 10 vigilantes. Let's just bring it up real quick. One of them's really fucking hot, and then
I knew that was coming.
And one of them's that balloon guy. I love that guy.
One of them's Wordsmith, who's really funny. 3 of the 10 vigilantes exist just to worship the one hot vigilante. There's my favorite vigilante, Shaky, who is, like, on the verge of breaking every bone on his body.
I know what that feels like.
We have to establish that, like, Espella did go up the tower, but it turned out they were carried by Darklaw because she had the invisibility cloak. The invisibility cloak also had Kira on it. Kira was like, I was attacking the bell tower because Darklaw's ulterior motive was to sabotage the storyteller's ending because he wanted to die peacefully into the night. And he goes, I think I'll just have my own stage death in Labyrinthia because it has to be real to my daughter who's going to be in a coma if this isn't real. So his original plot was that Kira was going to go up, become Bazella, kill the storyteller, yada yada, we're all free. Darklaw says, my dad committed suicide 3 months ago. That's your fault, storyteller. I hate you. I'm going to fuck up your story. Your daughter...
She's
the person
right. She's right.
She's right, but, like, Espella is sort of like a side victim in this.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
she was like, I'm going to get revenge against Espella, the girl who will go catatonic if we reveal to her the true nature of the world.
I'm gonna, like, kill your daughter to get revenge. Like, bad plan.
I will mind wipe your daughter.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I will do this by slowly making it so that she is Bazella. She'll take the role of Bazella, and then I'll have her be killed in the final witch trial. Nice job, idiot. Except no one really died. All the witches are fine. No, there's no witches, yada yada. All the witches who died became shades, and the shades are just the stagehand of the world. Yeah. Because we need people to
everybody
create
say
evil
thanks
mechanisms.
to the crew.
Everyone, like, all the shades come out, they do a bow, they're the most important people.
One of them, like, vacuuming the stage before the show, and everyone starts screaming and cheering. Just, little tech crew things.
Here, like, the town's very acceptable of the fact that, like, yeah, we've been hypnotized, yada yada. I mean, it's the storyteller saying it's true, so it must be true.
They have to believe him because they're still hypnotized.
They're still hypnotized.
Yeah. Also, like, everybody who's not there at the court case, then somebody has to go over to them and be like, okay, so you missed some important revelations.
You won't fucking believe everything. What just happened.
So our lives are a lie.
Let me tell you about
back technology. To the baker.
Yeah, exactly. Patty's like, what's a car?
Oh my god. Fucking Barnum figures out what a car is so fast. I knew he's like a...
Barnum.
Because, like, the story
Barnum
is
looks like he knows what cell phones is.
Yeah, he does. So, like, obviously he didn't know he was being Truman Showed because he was just too fucking stupid. But, like...
You mean drugged?
Yeah, I think he's also stupid.
Oh, okay.
I'm taking a stand.
He's a Final Fantasy, so...
Yeah.
What the fuck is it?
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem.
Fire
I keep getting backwards.
Like, everyone who supposedly signed these contracts, which, again, the British government is telling me that I'm not sure I believe it.
There's an evil government conspiracy in which they funded a medicinal company's research to develop really just straight up mind control.
Yeah, mind control drugs.
But the evil company's
Sorry to the CIA.
The evil company's goal is to just fix their catatonic daughter, but yeah, continue, Rose.
So, like, all these people had, like, lives that they were unhappy with and regret in their past lives. Like, what happened to these poor puppets? What happened to Barnum? Why is he like this?
Barnum,
My guess is disgraced Olympian.
Disgraced Olympian death.
Because of the shot put, like, pose.
He got caught with weed, and he got kicked off the Olympics. So now he has like
Olympus would be smoking weed all the fucking time. I don't know what you're talking about.
I gotta put down. I have a stress toy in my hand right now, and it just made a noise in the recording. I gotta put it down. This case made me so fucking stressed.
Oh, buddy. So I thought that we were only doing 2 parts. I totally, for some reason, couldn't read epilogue. So I was like, yeah, I'm in part 9. Time to take a break. And everyone was like, so Rose, there's 3 parts. And I was like, oh no, well, it's an epilogue. No.
How long could it take?
It's 2 epilogues.
It was chapter 10. It was not an epilogue. That's not how
I don't know why
works.
they call it an epilogue. Yeah, it's baffling to me that this is called an epilogue when this is clearly chapter 10.
Not an epilogue.
It's not a fucking epilogue.
Oh my god. I guess, like, our assumption that we're, like, some sort of weird, like, British, mind control sleep drug substance was spread throughout the town wasn't entirely wrong.
We clocked the potions, we clocked the modified memory.
We clocked the Truman Show. That was easy, though.
We clocked the Truman Show. That was easy.
I can't believe
Luke
just drove that forklift. How can Luke see the forklift to drive it?
Okay, so we gotta. Let's take it back a little bit. We have to interrogate Tarkalaw, but we can't do that with an Inquisitor.
Right.
Layton, after having his confrontation with Storyteller, goes, "I will be the Inquisitor because I will prove that Espella is Bezella." But he didn't prove that. He proved the opposite, in fact. But whatever.
I think he just said that to get on the stand for real.
You think Layton would lie?
Yeah.
Okay. Good point.
There's a woman on trial who's actually going to be burned this time and not fake burned, and he thinks it would be funny if he just pretended to be a prosecutor instead of just telling everybody the truth.
Did we think that she was going to be real burned? Like, I don't think so.
I did. I feel like they had a fucking fire back there.
They were she's the last witch. They were literally going to burn her.
There's literally, like, there's probably 20 shades, like, around the corner to replace her with, like, a fucking stuffed doll.
I don't know.
There's no hole to drop her into this time. No secret hole.
Well, yeah, but, like, that doesn't mean they
Crane would have just yanked her off screen real fast.
What would have... Yeah, exactly. The Crane would have yanked her off screen.
No. A cane would have came off screen.
Yeah.
And pulled her away at the last second.
Exactly. So, like, we interrogate Darklaw. Here's the fucking funniest thing that I realized about this. Is that Layton appears on screen, and he's not with Luke. And I'm like, where the fuck is Luke this entire time? We go through, like, 3 hours of court cases.
With no Luke.
I really missed him very, very much.
With no Luke.
Conspicuous absence. Fan now. Was he practicing using the crane the
whole
time?
He was straight up reading the manual.
While you were arguing in court, he was practicing the blade.
We give Luke an instruction manual to pilot a Gundam, and he's good in, like, a couple hours.
Now, Luke, my boy.
That's how a gentleman would
you must take this manual, and while I go solve the mystery of the town, you must learn how to operate a crane. You really good, Professor? I don't know. That seems really tough. And he's like, "No, Luke, it's all resting on your shoulders."
All gentlemen are forklift certified.
All gentlemen can learn to operate machinery in 4 hours. Mm-hmm. If you do not do this, people will die, Luke. You gotta do it.
I mean, Luke's been... I don't know. Luke got in that fucking Iron Maiden to, like, solve this puzzle. Like, he's committed. He's good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love Luke. Rose, I'm glad you're a Luke fan. Luke is so cool.
I like him very much.
I like original trilogy Luke, prequel Luke. He's just, like, kind of a snotty little kid, and I'm just like, alright, whatever.
No, this is the right mix of Luke. You know?
Yeah, this is the right mix. You got the right percentages. Like, I just can't believe that every decision made by the storyteller makes Espella's condition worse and worse. And the first decision he should have made after seeing that his daughter went catatonic was, I will now hire a child psychiatrist.
Yeah, like hospital, like therapy, like...
Yeah.
Tiago and I live in the greater Boston area. We are near the best children's hospital in the country. Like, come on down to Boston.
If your child gets traumatized after drinking susceptible water and thinks that a fire dragon burned down a village with a witch, come on down to Boston.
Yeah,
we'll heal you.
Boston Children's, they'll fix you up.
And it's her fault. There's not a lot of puzzles in this park. Well, no, there's that whole segment where, like, there's 3 puzzles in a row because you're late and you have to go up an elevator, and then those are the last, like, puzzles.
That was so annoying.
I solved that shit.
I solved that shit real quick. I guess Des thought it was annoying.
No, I'm a dumbass.
The 69th puzzle was a dumb little memory game that I was awesome at. That was sarcasm.
Yeah.
I was not awesome at it.
I was not good at that one. That one was tough. Because, like, no matter how many hints you use, it doesn't make it easier.
No, I was mainlining hint coins through this entire thing. I find them really obnoxious to use in the court case, actually.
Really?
It would, like, be like, okay, press here, or whatever, but, like, it wouldn't help me very much, because I was like, well, obviously I'm pressing every statement, and then there was some where it was like, all right, so you pressed every statement, and now something has changed, so now you have to go back and press every statement again, and like...
Yeah.
Now go back and figure it out, dumbass.
And now you have to look at the cat, and I was like, what the fuck? But I figured it out eventually.
The hint coin system was very good for those moments where you had to pick out specific evidence. And you're
yes. There was definitely some moments where it was like,
yeah,
why is this the piece of evidence I have to present? I don't know. Hopefully Phoenix will explain, and he didn't sometimes.
There's always moments where it's like, Phoenix goes, we have just the right evidence, and us as the player goes, we do?
We do not. We're presenting the footprints drawing for the 4th time in a row. We're wearing kind of thin on this piece of evidence. We're extrapolating a lot.
The first half of this witch trial is establishing what exactly happened in the bell tower, and that can be easily explained by Darklaw brought Kira went up there to complete her task to become Bezella. Darklaw, trying to sabotage this whole thing, knocked out a speller, brought her up there, knocked out Kira, put Kira in the top floor of the bell tower, and then like propped the Spella up to be Bezella, and then Darklaw left. That's like the whole thing. She just switched out the actor for who Bezella was supposed to be. For her grand scheme, of course, of getting revenge on the storyteller, who like straight up, I don't think is a good person. I think the storyteller should be punishable by law.
Yeah, he should go to prison. I'm fucking
suffer
serious.
Some consequences.
I'm sure these are a lot of international and laws that are being broke. I don't know as much about British law, but like, buddy,
he created.
The government said it was okay, so he can't.
He created a government program.
His subordinates kidnapped a couple of American lawyers.
Well, to be fair,
it was to experiment.
It was one subordinate, and it was Darklaw. She was doing it in her revenge scheme.
Prison for both of them.
Guilty by proxy.
Guilty by proxy.
She's just like, oops, this was kind of an accident. You guys opened up this book and knocked yourselves out, so now
I had to bring you. So that's when they had implanted memories. And
yeah, exactly.
Layton and Luke did not.
That's why Layton and Luke got the cool like Skyrim opening where they're in a wagon, and then Phoenix, Wright, and Maya were just
because it was all planned for that.
Yeah.
Skyrim.
They couldn't do the wagon opening twice. Like
it would be so funny if you did, though.
That'd be really funny if they just went in on the same wagon. Oh my god. So like, oh my god,
crossing the border.
The first half we had to like interrogate the vigilantes because they're the ones who like guarded the tower, and like there's one really hot one who's like into BDSM, and like everyone's just like, is this happening? Is this for real? Why are these vigilantes like this? There's the one with the incredibly long name. With it. Well, listen, not everyone, nobody wants to deal. I don't know about that statement, Rose.
The puppets didn't seem too interested, except for the puppets that were really interested.
I want to ask you a question. We could not see her face. Do you think she's a Muppet, or do you think she's a Fire Emblem?
Oh, I think that's a Muppet under there.
You think there's a Muppet under there?
I think there's a Muppet under there.
We got ourselves a sexy Muppet, folks.
Yeah.
World's sexiest Muppet.
Who's that one Muppet? The hot girl in
Miss Piggy.
Okay, there's multiple hot Muppets. Yes. In the band with Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. That's what she looks like.
She does kind of look like her. Yeah. We gotta move on.
Would you like me to drop a trivia bomb on you?
Oh my god, yeah.
Her name is Janice.
So much.
Thank you.
Janice from the Electric Teeth?
Yeah. Thank you. Electric Teeth.
Wait, what's her name?
Janice, the hot Muppet from the band.
Janice, okay.
So, Arthur Cantabella is the president of Librellum Inc. Would anybody like to guess what this is a reference to?
Is this not
Umbrella
a
Academy? Not Umbrella Academy.
Umbrella Corporation.
We gotta stop naming things after umbrellas, because now I'm getting mixed up in my sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah.
Is Librellum an anagram for umbrella?
Exactly. It is exactly that.
This is absolutely what the Umbrella Corporation would have done.
Wesker's off screen.
Wesker would have absolutely done that.
Wesker's main, like, we gotta have all of our employees mainline the fucking the flowers.
Wesker and Professor Layton's super sword fight.
Dude, oh my god. Imagine
with like a
Layton gets...
Luke comically running around in the background.
Dude, imagine Professor Layton goes, "Now Luke, a true gentleman knows never do drugs, but there are exceptions," and then he mainlines the T virus to go fight Wesker. Luke's like, "I don't know, Professor. This is like every puzzle has a solution," while he's like fist fighting.
No, Professor.
And sometimes, my boy, the solution is violence.
He literally did choose violence here.
Luke's just gonna talk to all the zombie dogs and get them to play nice.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I would actually fucking kill for Professor Layton versus Albert Wesker.
That's what I'm saying!
That's actually a sick video game series. Imagine the trauma Luke would have as, like, Chris Redfield busts out a door, shoots 2 zombies in the head, and Luke's like, what's the puzzle here?
What kind of puzzle is this?
Oh no! Actually, you know what? I think maybe Resident Evil characters would need Luke and Layton's help, because there's some dog shit puzzles in those games.
Exactly! Also, in the trilogy, oh my god, I forget her fucking name. There's another sidekick that, Layton has, who's, like, a girl who knows Kung Fu. And she, like, fights people. And her whole thing is, like, Layton, I understand that puzzles and, like, pacifism is the solution for all this, but also this guy needs to be kicked in the head. And then she kicks him in the head. And Layton's like, that's a little too dangerous for my taste, but I see your point.
I guess he learned something from her, because he does, like... I guess he's just fighting, like, robots, right? Like, he knows
He's
they're
a
robots.
good fencer.
He's a really good... Luke picks up, like, a whole, like, broadsword and throws it to him in a delightful anime cutscene.
I can't think of a single person Layton is directly responsible for killing. His KD ratio is not high.
Yeah.
But he's very good with a sword.
He's very good with a sword. Luke's KD ratio also low. Just gotta bring that up. God, I am so hungry for Professor Layton versus Albert Wesker. That'd be such a good fucking game.
I'm glad we've come up with a cool idea.
Dude, imagine Muppet Zombies.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Tiago and I have become deranged by the revelations at the end of this game.
Yep.
We are writing our own game.
Alright, so, like, fucking Arthur Cantabella. Arthur Cantabella.
Fucking criminal.
Daughter gets catatonically traumatized. Instead of hiring a psychiatrist, he makes another story up, the thing that did traumatize her. And he simply just says, I will re-traumatize her back.
I'm gonna reinforce these incorrect
If you traumatize
beliefs.
her again, it cancels out.
Yeah! That's literally what he just did.
Yeah.
What a good father.
So, like, Newton Bellduke's, like, motive in all this is to protect his own daughter, because he realizes pretty early that, like, Darklaw is the one that rung the bell. And so he goes, like, if she learns the truth, I don't want her to get into a catatonic state, so why don't we just, like, double down on his theory?
Let's trick both of our daughters.
Let's trick both of our daughters. Except Newton feels really bad about it. So, like, Newton confirmed death. Was not planned by the story.
If you drink poison in the Truman Show, like, soundstage...
You die.
Yeah, you still die.
I really thought he was gonna be, like, outside sipping some coffee, but my man actually died. They buried him. Holy shit, you imagine being buried in Labyrinthia? Like, they just fucking dig a hole and it's like, oh, there's some kind of steel pipe here that says
that means he
electrical
dies with his
wire.
research, I guess.
Oh, true.
Goodness.
True, moves on.
Listen, he died with his fucking research mate to save his best friend. His daughter is saved. Like, the only... Wait, so have there been, like, natural deaths in Labyrinthia?
It was over the span of 10 years, so
yeah, there has to
possible.
been.
So, like, imagine dying
probably.
and you're like, you fucking die and you, like, have a flashback of your life before you die and you're like, wait, what the fuck was that? Was that a phone? Like,
oh, shit.
Exactly. Just, like, having flashbacks of your life pre your hypnotism. Which, like...
My Nintendogs.
Also,
I haven't fed them.
My Neopets are dying.
No!
I really liked that, kind of liked in quotes here, when Darklaw has her memories, like, start to flash back to her of ringing the
she
bell.
has, like, a visual effect.
Yeah, and also she says, what are these flashbacks? It's like nobody refers to their actual memories as flashbacks. Oh, no.
When I'm having a memory. Oh no, a flashback.
Me trying to remember my favorite McDonald's order. Oh my god, the flashback. I just God, so many bad decisions made so quickly. That's the part that really fucking gets me.
That's what happens when you panic.
I also wanted to ask here, something to kind of set up a little bit. Briefly, just in case anybody hasn't played this, and is just listening to us talk about it. When you're doing all the vigilantes, there's 10 people all across there. So it's more just like picking out the needle in the haystack.
Yeah.
Then later, when Darklaw is on the stand, you have both Phoenix and Layton on either side of the court. And when Layton has to present an item, you switch over to Layton's perspective and you get his menu of evidence. It's separate from Phoenix's evidence.
Yeah.
And you get your own unique menu.
You can only look at it then.
Yes, you can only look at it then. So you kind of have to. It definitely feels a little bit like a half measure. But I wanted to ask here: did anybody present the wrong evidence when they were choosing as Layton?
No, I had 2 HP left, so if I did that,
I had to get
fucking
schmoovin'.
died.
I got hurt
That's
a couple
alright.
times by misguessing or misclicking.
If you present the wrong evidence as Layton, Phoenix gets delighted. He's like so happy. He's like,
That's so
oh my
cute.
goodness. He's like, this never happens to me. He's like, I'm so happy. Maya's like, why are you looking so smug right now? He's like, well, I never get to be on this end of things. I never get to be the one who goes like, ooh, you got it wrong. Try again, buddy.
Oh my god.
Nobody ever lets me do this.
That's
Yep,
a wild
exactly.
fucking catharsis. I also
That's
forgot
so
that
cute. Good for him.
there's several moments where several Maya moments where she's like, I'm gonna do something wildly violent, and Layton's response is always, I'll pretend I did not hear that.
Yeah, Maya's like, let's burn the town down and test it. And Layton's just like, nope.
No, I don't think we will.
I didn't hear that.
And we had to find, Ispeller remembers the giant fire dragon, but it turns out to be the fucking, Iron Gate barn. Not an iron gate, an iron...
It's a fence thing.
Defense.
It's like a guardrail.
A guardrail, thank you. There's a guardrail in the bell tower that has a fire dragon design in it. Who the fuck designed this? What?
I don't know, but that's sick as hell. Good for them.
It traumatized somebody.
I mean,
You don't make art thinking it's gonna traumatize somebody intentionally unless that's
maybe
literally what you're
unless you
going
do.
in to do.
Unless you do.
Berserk.
Unless people literally do.
oh my god.
God. Luke,
Wake
pulls
up. I think I'll traumatize somebody today.
Luke's like, can I read Berserk today, Professor Layton? He goes, no, my boy.
No.
You may read.
Luke is not old enough to read Berserk.
What would he recommend Luke read, Tiago?
Detective Conan.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay. That's good.
Yep. Instant correct answer.
I was so right. I've thought about this.
Very good.
Got it in one.
Speaking of those kind of dialogue bits, there is an interview with 4Gamer and Takumi, which again has been translated by Yakutan Saiban Library. And Takumi is talking about some of the writing that he did for the game. 4Gamer says, oh yeah, you've got lots of parts where when the player fails, you have unique dialogue for it. And Takumi says, I think it's important that even if you fail, it should be fun, so the player feels like trying again. There are also lines for when Layton fails, so go ahead and fail with him. And then 4Gamer asks, did you write those lines for Professor Layton? And Takumi says, yes. But Layton is the mascot figure of Level 5, and he has lots of fans, so I wrote his lines responsibly. But I think Layton is a really interesting character. Mr. Hino told me about the image he had of the character at the start of the game, so I made sure not to stray from that, but I did have some fun with him. I showed all sides of him without Mr. Hino noticing. And then he laughs.
I
God
snuck
bless.
some extra
Some Layton
personality
goofs
into
in there.
Layton.
Yeah.
The thing about
When you
Mr.
sneak
Layton-
a story into a Mario game.
I think him and Maya were very funny together because Maya would say deranged things and he would just be like, okay.
I love
Luke never
I-
says
His bullshit.
Luke never says
censor.
let's burn the town down.
Luke is such a good boy. How come Maya's not a good girl? And then Phoenix is like, I don't know, man.
Maya's like, I want burgers.
I love I'm also like an adult woman at this point. Like, I fucking pay taxes.
Well, fuck, me too. I want burgers.
True.
They bring out the best in each other. Luke brings out the gentleman, and Professor Layton, and Maya brings out the unhinged freak inside Phoenix.
True.
Good for them.
They ask also Takumi, like, where does this game take place in the timeline? And he basically says, don't worry about it.
Whenever you want, man.
Perfect, actually.
Don't worry about it. And they also then say, so I assume that the reason Maya doesn't channel spirits despite being in the game is because it doesn't fit with magic? Takumi, yes, if the two would both exist, the framework would break down. If it threatens the player's enjoyment of the game if it confuses them. Fans of Professor Layton who don't know Ace Attorney might think, why is that girl dressed like that, though? Now that you mention it, it wasn't even explained that she is wearing those clothes because she's a spirit medium. Takumi, people who are curious about that can all play the DS games.
Oh, hell
so why
yeah.
not try out some of the older Ace Attorneys?
That's a really good response.
If you're
like,
curious about this weird girl, come hang out.
Go hang out. I love the line that Professor Layton looked directly at the screen. My magic does not exist, and like meanwhile Maya's like, huh, what? What?
I think Maya was just like, well, I guess it would be awkward if I did anything now, so I'll just sort of
Guess it's too late.
Can you imagine Mia Fey seeing all this from the spirit realm and goes, I'm not touching that.
Yeah, Mia just didn't feel like it.
Mia's just like, I straight up cannot deal with that today. I do not like England. I am not fucking...
I'm sure they'll figure it out. Don't worry.
I believe in them. And meanwhile, like, people are dying in front of Maya, and she's like, I still believe in them. And then Maya almost dies and goes, Mia's like, I still believe. Trust me.
Mia could tell that she was never in any danger, which is why she didn't show up.
Oh yeah, I guess Mia would see all the cranes and shit, right? Because she wasn't drinking the water. So she's like...
Yeah, she's a spirit. She's a ghost. She can't drink water.
So she sees all the shades and all the fucking, like, clockwork, and she's like, why is everyone acting so fucking surprised about this? Here's what fucks me up.
She's like, how come nobody bumps into the clock tower? This huge clock
why
tower.
don't people walk into
the bell tower? When it's covered with this big cloth, how comes nobody bumps into it the entire time?
It fucking kills me so much, Ben. I sat there and went...
All those trucks and cranes and everything just sitting around?
I have to assume that as a part of the suggestion, if you do bump into it, you just think that, like, you bumped into, like, a rock or something, right? Like...
Or, yeah, some kind of subconscious command to, like, avoid them.
Because, like, the storyteller said it himself.
Like, there was an evil bell tower here. It's hallowed ground. Don't go there. And they don't.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, not only that, but, like, the storyteller says, we only gave them, like, 3 commands, which is, you cannot see pure black, this is your name, this is your profession. Oh, no, they said that you cannot see pure black, magic exists, this is your profession. And, like, the human mind would fill out the rest itself. The human mind is a strange thing. So, like...
Yes.
I have to assume that, as a result, if someone bumped into somebody who was a shade, they'd just be like, oh, must have been the wind, and then move on.
Well, like, I once again, like a Skyrim character.
Like, once again, like a fucking Skyrim character. So, like, I'm imagining, like, remember Amir Punchenbag, our favorite Muppet?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What if he's like an astrophysicist? Like, there's a possibility that, like, outside of this, he's like a fucking genius.
He didn't show up in this case. I was very surprised.
Honestly,
he's in the final cutscene, but that's it.
Yeah, I was expecting, like I was waiting for the shot to be fired, and then they just didn't.
They should have just made him one of the vigilantes. It would have been really fucking funny if they just, like, conscripted him.
That's his new job.
Exactly. I like the vigilantes because there's 10 of them, and, like, half their testimony does not fucking matter, and then the half that does is really interesting. Like, I think that, like, the first half of this case is, like, classic Ace Attorney, where it's, like, there's a wild premise, but we will first ground the wild premise to establish, like, motive, alibi, stuff like that, especially with the footprint stuff. Like, that's just, like, classic detective shit, and I'm like, God, I feel so good that even though there's a world of magic, violence, witches, and mind control, that I'm a really good lawyer because I can tell about footprints.
And I can tell about footprints.
I saw that she put her whole fucking heel on the step because she was carrying something, and that's why Darklaw got caught. like a Scooby-Doo villain. Holy shit, Tess!
Another bit I really liked was, so there's a vigilante with a really long name.
I can't say it.
Yeah, no, I don't think any of us can say it. It is literally, they took two ancient Mayan cities and combined them and made that his name.
I think it's a lady.
I thought it was a child.
Yeah. I'm looking at the wiki page for him right now, and it uses he him pronouns for him.
Oh, I thought they used like she her towards the end of the game, and I was like, oh, it's a girl, but I didn't like say it out loud because it wasn't important.
Yeah. So
you just gotta put it in the.
We stand the trans icon.
There's two like jokes basically that they do about this character, and one is that, Phoenix cannot pronounce the name. Maya, of course, pronounces the name perfectly the very first time, and Phoenix goes, "Wow, that's funny," and the name kind of sounded Mayan to me. aka Maya Faye. It's just like a
that's why Maya couldn't pronounce it correctly, is because fucking
just
because of her name.
I couldn't read it at all because of my dyslexia, so I just went, okay. And to me that name was just like bleh in my head. It just stopped happening.
I'm looking at it right now in the trivia notes and I still can't say it.
It's gone. It just sounds like TV static when I look at it, so I just button mashed my way through. This game doesn't button mash very well through dialogue. I have gotta say, it is hard to move right along.
It is tough.
I was slowed down significantly by, because you can't, mash B like you're fucking playing a regular-ass Nintendo game or whatever.
This game specifically prevents you from mashing it, which is,
so annoying.
Kind of annoying when you're, going over dialogue you've already seen.
Because there's a lot of, going back, because, you have to, you have to get some evidence by pressing a statement that happens, later in the testimony. That happens at least, twice, I think.
Yeah.
So you have to go back through everything again, and boy, can you not speed through it.
Every other Ace Attorney game on the DS has the option to, hold the button on the screen to fast forward, and this one did not, and I was simply come now, we really fucking need it for this one.
Yeah. I wanted, the last thing, though, was with this character before we got sidetracked.
Chulchin?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
He locks the tower earlier in the case, right? And then when Espello runs up the tower and locks the door behind herself, they say, she's gone and done this character's name herself,
It's really,
and it's the
good.
One callback, and it just, I don't know, it just got me.
That one was really good.
I think that's where I got confused about the gender.
About the pronouns.
Which pronouns to use.
So, but that was the one callback to those vigilantes where I was like, okay, that's pretty good. That's actually really
that made the vigilantes worth it. Also, the hot one's name is Foxy. Can't forget that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
people wearing shirts later with a butterfly with a footprint on the back of it.
Yeah, whoever just yawned, that's how I felt about playing this fucking end of the game.
My bad.
It was so goddamn long. No, it was real. This epilogue takes 3 hours. And it's
no epilogue should take 3 hours.
That's just part of the
chapter
story.
10. It's fine.
Yeah.
No,
the people who've been doing the recent Hobbit movies would figure out how to stretch that into 3 hours. They'd stretch it into 3 movies if they could.
We can't unpack that for me right now.
Yeah.
I'm already out of control enough.
So everybody apologizes to everybody. Well, I guess we didn't really talk about, we kind of talked about it a little bit, but, Espella tries to toss herself off the roof, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't toss herself, she falls.
She, I guess, assumes that by doing this, somehow this would resolve something.
I mean,
it would take Bazella, quote unquote, out of the picture.
I think
she realizes at this point that this entire town was made for her purpose. So in order to apologize,
this is my town. It was made for me.
Yeah, this is my town. It was made for me. So
the only person that can say that is this fella.
the only way that she could find like a way to apologize for this event would be to take her own life. But also like that's tough, man.
Yeah.
Also,
the Dark Law catches her.
Yeah. Oh, how tall is this stupid bell tower? Its height is extremely variable.
Yep.
It went from being like really short
to
really tall to really short to really tall to like when they actually fall off of it, it's like, okay, this might kill you if you landed like bad, but it's a pretty good chance you'll survive.
Where's the Sonic video with Knuckles that's animated so poorly and perspective is literally just ignored and it's just so bad.
From Sonic Underground, yeah.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The human body is surprisingly resilient as long as you don't like give yourself a head injury, you know?
Yeah. It's like you might break a leg or something,
maybe
or an arm or whatever.
Phoenix Wright survived being hit in the head with a car.
Yeah.
Phoenix Wright fell off that bridge, like, and he was in the hospital for a while, but he was good.
It's a town full of people who were hit in the head with fire extinguishers.
Yeah.
They all signed up for it, though.
No, but so yeah. It is hard to tell whether she's falling like 2 stories or 5, right? You know, and it's like that's a huge difference, right?
I was kind of expecting there to be like invisible like safety netting or whatever. Like when Layton was like, "This is the last puzzle" or whatever, I was like, "Is the last puzzle like OSHA regulations for a film set? Like, what are we?"
I
like,
really
that's honestly legit what I thought was gonna happen is he was gonna pull the OSHA manual out of like the front of the spell book or whatever.
The final spell, OSHA.
Yeah.
It's almost like straight up kind of sad that there isn't a final puzzle where he like pulls out OSHA.
I mean, that puzzle is really just busy work. That final one with the book symbols is just gonna like drag the symbols over top of the matching symbol.
Yeah, I guess it was like the like keyword for whatever to like cure everyone of their hypnosis.
It's like in like all Layton tradition that like the side puzzles are way more difficult to the mainline puzzles because the mainline puzzles are intended to be like solved. Like you must be able to finish this puzzle to continue with the story. Therefore, it should be easier than the puzzle than like let's say Annie Patty gives you about bread, and that puzzle is like using fucking quantum physics or some shit like that.
I skipped all that. Thankfully, we never had that thing you described from the other Professor Layton games where you like hit you hit a door where it's like you must have solved X number of puzzles to open this door. Thank God they did not do that to us.
That's like a Spyro brain trigger for me because it's like you need to get this many eggs to go to the next world.
Thanks. I hate that kind of shit.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
That's the only time I think I can like remember that happening in like any game that I've played is that Spyro one. It's just Spyro 1. I don't know. It's a little nostalgic.
I hear you. I think that I'm glad that didn't happen. This game seemed to be like really focusing on the fact that it had puzzle stuff in it, but was really a like Ace Attorney game, and I think that was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The ending's super lame as hell, though.
I mean, I think the reason why I like I said before, I think I've said this. I know I've said this on the streams, and I think I've said this here. Is that I think that this is really important to later Ace Attorney games because some stuff that Takumi's interested in is going on in here. You know, with the witnesses, like the multi-witness system. He seems really fascinated with that, and also just kind of how like the structure of the cases and that kind of stuff. So I think that it will come into fore later as we get further in the series. That like, oh, I see what he really liked out of this game and what he decided to bring forward into later Ace Attorneys. I guess after everybody waves by, and the 4 main characters ride away with Barnum on a boat, you get your credits scene
and the dog
where it shows like where everybody is now kind of thing. And so it shows everybody like deciding to, not everybody, but a lot of people deciding to stay in the town and make it a new, better town that's not built on hypnosis and mind-altering substances.
Yeah,
and we still have hierarchies and people who are rich and people who aren't.
But
Yeah,
there
still
is
seems to be some.
I noticed. There's a shot where Barnum is like working for Miss Patty in the bakery and is wearing an apron and shit. So I'm like, they just made him get a real job. Like, maybe that's okay.
Yeah. But I gotta ask, what did everybody think of those last couple cutscenes at the end of the credits with Phoenix in court?
Well, so the model looks great. Different. Not the voice I was expecting.
For context,
Miles
we
should tell
is
them.
Here. Miles Edgeworth shows up at the end.
Here's what happened.
One scene.
So like Layton and Luke are like at home being like, "Wow, that was some wild adventure that we had with our good friends Phoenix Wright and Maya Fey." And Layton's like, "That's right, my boy. But the next mystery is just around the corner. We've got more puzzles to solve. I wonder what adventures they're getting in America right now." And then we like smash cut to Phoenix Wright getting his ass kicked in court by Miles Edgeworth.
Rated by Miles, which I guess it seems like he's fine with, but and we hear Miles speaking voice acting.
Yeah, first time.
He does sound very British.
I'm like the only person like here that like thought that that's what he sounded like. Like I figured he was kind of posh British accent.
The accent was spot on. Actually, I was just so taken aback.
I never thought he was gonna be a posh British accent. If anything, I thought he was gonna sound like I don't know what I thought he sounded like. Honestly, he could have sounded like
Come on, do your Edgeworth for us, Tiago.
Oh fuck! Come on, don't do this.
Don't put him on the spot like that. Poor guy.
I thought he would have sounded like he would have sounded like a Columbo villain. You know what I mean? Like he would have like a rich Californian accent that
you think a little more John Cassavetes almost or something.
I don't know who that is, but yeah,
Columbo villains can be British.
Well, yeah, I agree.
We got a mix, but yeah.
But like he definitely would have sounded like he would sound old timey because he was raised by Von Karma, and Von Karma would speak in an old timey voice.
Yeah, that guy speaks old timey as hell.
Whatever the voice, I did not expect British. He's raised in fucking America. Why would I expect British?
Well, actually,
because
this makes
Von Karma.
sense. He's raised in Germany for a while.
Oh yeah,
in fiction.
You're right.
So him having a British English accent is not totally outrageous.
Rose coming out here with the fucking Edgeworth facts.
I'm just,
What if he had a German accent though that he adopted because he was raised?
Phoenix,
does Phoenix right?
I have a friend who is German but speaks English with a British accent. So like,
we literally have a friend who is German and speaks English with a British accent.
I'm just
so
saying.
I'm no.
Also, I apologize for my terrible German just now.
It's like, but yes, Miles. Yeah, he's a weird amalgamation of a character because of all of the like contrivances now that the localization has forced upon him.
I kind of love
he is
it
from Japanifornia, and then he studied in Germany for a while, but now he's got his kind of posh British accent.
I think it's perfect.
So it works out though. It's exactly how he should.
And
sound.
he's also making like a snippy comments about like cats and
he was flirting with. He was flirting so hard. Like,
so like they like definitely like had drinks and Phoenix told him this whole story and now he's in court and he's making fun of him in front of everybody.
Yeah, he's like, I don't believe that for a second, right?
But I am gonna make fun of you in front of the judge for it.
What fucking got me is the fact that like, so before I ever played this game, I saw a GIF on Tumblr of a 3D model of Miles Edgeworth breakdancing in front of Phoenix Wright. And I thought,
I'm gonna need you to find that for me and show me.
Yeah, Dessy, I want to know.
I can't find it right now, but there's like, I thought that as a result of that GIF, I thought to myself like, oh, Miles Edgeworth is gonna show up in this game, and I really thought he was gonna show up as like a Muppet in Labyrinthia or some shit like that. But
isn't this like the second or third time this has happened where you see like one off-kilter GIF set on like Tumblr or something of a character, and then you just assume, oh, that must be an important character in that game, but it turns out they're only there for like 2 seconds.
You know what? I bet keen-eared listeners could tell me when that happened before, but I believe you, yeah. I don't recall, but I 100% believe that this is something that could have happened to me before.
I feel like this has happened before.
If you say so, I'll believe you.
I'm searching my mind
could be
palace, and if
me.
I recall correctly, it was when you saw stuff from Apollo Justice with the Black Psyche locks.
Oh yeah, I actually did think that they're gonna like fucking solve that or
I
something.
missed those. God, that was the coolest thing ever.
It was sick.
Dude, I wish that Layton
so...
found out about magic.
Yeah, it would be fun if it was if Layton finally actually got, to see Maya channel spirit.
Yeah, what if we
like
use the Megatama on Layton and Luke?
What if Layton has black fucking puzzle soul lock? And they're like, wait a second.
I don't believe in magic.
True.
This puzzle is worth 1,000 Piccarots.
Oh, the Piccarots. Fucking god. This is such a strange game. I really liked it. I thought it was charming.
Love the soundtrack. Love the soundtrack.
The music, carries the game so hard. The music is really, really good in this.
Yeah. I think my only,
just across the board,
criticism of this game is that, like, the tail end of it really, like, kind of shoves a lot of stuff together. And also the epilogue is just straight up misnamed.
Yeah.
But, like, every other thing in this game was, like, great, both from, like, the Layton perspective and the Phoenix Wright perspective. Good puzzles, fun to do. Didn't make me want to claw my own eyes out by asking me word puzzles like, A said B stole the cake, B said C did not do it, C said they did it, but they're a liar. We only had, like, one of those, but, like, thank God it was solved with the power of hint coins. Good game. I liked it.
Well,
I thought it was fun.
Let me go around here and ask then one or two questions just for everybody. Favorite NPC? Dessy, go.
Dog.
Constantine?
Thank
you
you.
liked Constantine? Constantine was really good.
Cute Pomeranian.
Yeah, it was very fun to see Constantine.
Yeah, and some guy.
do some really good goofy bits. And yeah.
Some guy.
How about you, bros? Favorite NPC?
The wheels are spinning. I guess Jean? I think?
Who?
The Jean Grail.
Oh, Jean.
Oh, Jean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think none of them. I am Patty also. I liked Patty. None of them, like, super stuck out to me. Like, I was so charmed by all these, like, delightful, wacky Muppets with their designs, but for the most part, I wouldn't declare most of them, like, my favorite. But I thought, like...
a lot of them were, like, bits as opposed to fully developed characters.
But, like, Gina's probably had the most going on. I found, like, Espella, Darkcloud, and the Storyteller, like, nice, but, like, a little convoluted. I got kind of sick of solving their problems after a while.
I wish someone would just come solve my problem.
Yeah, Professor Layton
get a Professor Layton in your life.
Shit.
I don't have enough money for a consultation with Professor Layton.
If you collect enough puzzles, maybe he'll do it for free.
Yep. Tiago, how about you?
Oh, Foxy.
Foxy, okay.
No, I'm kidding. It's probably a mere puncher bag.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that the archetype of, like, dude who keeps showing up no matter what is really funny. Like, it's the best thing about a mere punching bag is that he's not a fucking pervert, and he's funny.
Yeah, he never does anything weird and perverted. There's no character that's weird and perverted in this game.
I don't think they could literally have that in a Professor Layton game.
They had to use the characters with enough respect.
Yeah,
thanks, Professor Layton, for causing it to not be like that.
So like in the Professor Layton prequel trilogy, you have a girl assistant named Emmy, and like what happens is that guys will like look at her and be like, "Oh my god, she's so beautiful, you're so pretty," and she goes, "Yeah, whatever," and then just like shoves them to the side and moves on, and that is like the most like sexy that game has ever gone. Is simply like a guy thinks what girl character is pretty and then move on. And thank God that was pretty much how it went here, because holy shit. Anyway, Amir Punching Bag, right? Funny, like his character a lot.
His design's really good.
He's a rascal. He's just a rascal. Like, he does so many crimes that, like, but we can't hate him for it, you know? He's like Charlie from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I mean, he stole from a crime scene. Isn't that like his only like crime?
And he also pawned someone's arm off.
Well, he thought it was just a statue arm, but he could steal that.
He did cover it up.
He probably knew that it was, like, come on, buddy.
No, I genuinely don't think he knew. He didn't know that he was a girl.
He definitely stole it.
Yeah, 100% he stole it.
It was definitely a crime.
Do they just have gold statues of everybody in town just, like, ready to go in case that person casts that spell?
I guess. I mean,
they're like, oh god, now there's new people. We need to make statues of them real quick.
We were kind of right about it, though, like, that the actual Professor Layton just got replaced by a statue.
I like to imagine that there's one shade whose task is simply just, like, make a gold statue. Like,
yeah.
Fuck, and he's like, oh, fuck, a new character, god damn it. What's his height? The shade.
Yeah, the character designer of the game.
Whoa, Ben, who's your favorite NPC?
My favorite NPC is probably I mean, I don't want to just pick the same one as somebody else, but I like Amir, right?
Yeah, base as hell.
I think it's a good.
Where's the Constantine love?
I mean, he's a dog.
He has no lines that we can understand.
But yeah, the bits of Amir busting into the courtroom are some of the best bits of the game.
You know who would like you know who would like Constantine? The kids, because he's like a Paw Patrol.
Shut up!
Constantine,
wow!
Don't bring up propaganda in here.
Propaganda.
Yeah.
Propaganda.
But yes, speaking of favorite characters, Kazuya Nuri, the character designer and art director of this game, who designed also the characters, I believe, for 4 and onward. Their favorite character they designed, they said, Darklaw.
That makes sense. I mean,
they said Darklaw is one of their favorite characters they've ever designed.
She's fine.
And so now I, understand a little bit more about Kazuya Nuri.
More people probably would have said that if she actually was in Fire Emblem.
Why? What's wrong, Rose? Don't you like a goth baddie?
I like a goth baddie, but I need a little more weird girl energy. I'm sorry.
I don't think she doesn't shop at fucking Spencer's.
Yeah, she needs like manic pixie girl energy.
Not even necessarily like manic pixie girl, just weird girl. She doesn't have to be manic.
She's a little too uptight.
She's a prep, just wearing goth clothing.
Yeah, like you can put a prep in goth clothes. That
does not make him a goth.
Yeah, you can make him look like a goth, but like, come on.
Yeah, she's just goth cop.
Yeah,
it sucks that she's a goth cop. Actually,
yeah, that does suck.
Like,
if I met a hot goth cop, I might get arrested.
Like the cool, like sharp claw gloves. That's kind of neat, but like, also like she just got cat ears, hair. Like whatever.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's fine. She's hot. She's just not weird enough to be super hot.
Right.
She needs like a weird hobby, like bug collecting or something.
Yeah, I need her to be stranger than she is.
Let's say that's weird. That's not weird. Bug collecting is a perfectly normal hobby.
Well, it would be one more hobby than she actually has. Place to start.
Yep.
True.
Alrighty. Any last thoughts about Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright before we wrap up here, then?
I have to go, like, play the final Professor Layton game.
I like Luke. That's my thought. Luke's nice.
There's a final Professor Layton game? I don't know why I thought it was still ongoing.
I mean, it is still ongoing. What I mean is that, like,
the most recent
there's the original trilogy, and then there's the prequel trilogy. I gotta finish the prequel trilogy. I don't know why I'm saying trilogy. It's trilogy.
I mean, we have gotten a new Professor Layton game announced since we started this show, which was Professor Layton and the New World of Steam, which is coming out on Switch next year.
Steampunk is so
Do
boring.
y'all think you would play that?
Hey, Des, come over to my house and fist fight me right now.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Well, we'll be back. Have fun, fella.
I mean, the art for this looks quite good. It doesn't look like it's just quote-unquote steampunk. There looks like there's more to it than that. But Luke goes to America in this one, and he's a little bit older now, and he finds a mystery in this big steam, like, powered city, and then he goes back to Layton and says, hey, come and adventure with me in America and figure out this mystery. So hopefully we will get some more news about that soon. But this seems to be the first big, like, new console Layton, so I hope that they can really knock it out of the park. I'm very interested in seeing what they've got going on.
I also love the implication that, like, Luke goes to America because his dad moves to America for work. So, like, Luke is like, I have to go to live in America with my dad, but will we still be friends, right, Professor Layton? Professor's like, of course, my boy. A friendship forged over puzzles is a friendship forever. And, like, he goes to, like, steampunk America. So, like, let's think about it, right? Like, he's in England. He's taking a boat to America, which means he's going to land on the East Coast. Is this the same America that fucking Phoenix Wright lives in? Does that mean on the East Coast of Phoenix Wright? Yeah, Japanifornia, West Coast, it's modern time. East Coast, it's all steampunk. Boston is a steampunk
Come to Boston.
Come
to Boston. We got children's hospitals, Dunkin' Donuts, and apparently steampunk.
Yeah.
Luke is fucking riding around in the same shit that Terra does in Final Fantasy 6. Like, he's riding around in Magitech armor.
Put that boy on a dirigible.
Put that boy on a dirigible.
Yep. The other big piece of news that happened just after we recorded our last podcast is also that Capcom has finally announced, if you're listening to this, like, right as it comes out, basically. If you're listening to this way after the fact, don't worry about it. By now, this is already out.
Hope you're having a good time.
Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. They finally announced the other games are being packaged up and released all together. So that would be Apollo Justice and then Ace Attorney 5 and 6.
I can't believe Apollo Justice didn't even get, like, his own game, and now they're giving him a trilogy, which is full of games that aren't his, except for the one that is his, that isn't actually his.
Yeah,
I mean, again, we'll avoid getting into too many details because I know some folks.
Tiago and I had to not watch the stream because there were some spoilers in it.
Yeah,
I got up and got a drink.
Yeah, we both ran out of the room.
Suffice to say, these are the next 3 games in the series. They're going to be released in early 2024. Unfortunately, we are going to get to those games before that ever comes out. So we are still going to be playing the 3DS versions of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm excited to dive into those very soon.
We're doing a side quest.
Yes, exactly. Before we get to those, we are doing a side quest. During the production of Professor Layton versus Ace Attorney, Shu Takumi was busy on another game. And some of you may have heard of that game. It is called Ghost Trick. This was a 2010 puzzle mystery game that was released on the DS. So we're going to play Ghost Trick next. This is also getting a remaster that is coming out. And if you are listening to this episode again on the day it comes out, that remaster just came out about 3 days ago. So I would highly recommend checking out this very good game. And we're gonna be playing that next ourselves because, again, this is a Shu Takumi directed and fully written game. And I think it is, again, very important to consider as part of the full, like, oeuvre of his work and Ace Attorney. So that is why we're going to tackle that as well. It's also not a very long game. It's only about 12 hours total.
Thank God.
So it will be, we'll still be breaking it up into about 4 chunks roughly. But that'll be our little interlude before we make our way into Ace Attorney 5 after that. So you can follow the show on Twitter at Ace Attorney Pod, co-host /Ace Attorney, or our website, updatedautopsy.report, to stay up to date on everything we do. You can also watch all of our Let's Plays of Dessy and I playing through the game at youtube.com.
So for that one time.
Yep, except for the one time you weren't there. You can find those, on youtube.com/@Yotseben. You can follow me on all social medias at Yotseben. I'm on everything, including Blue Sky now. Dessy, where can people find you?
Unfortunately, only on Twitter, @YesThisIsDes.
And Tiago?
You can find me at Tiago S. Dutra on various social media.
And Rose?
You can find me at Rose Nonsense on Tumblr and sometimes co-host.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope that you will rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast platform. Like I said, next episode we'll be taking a slight detour and playing Ghost Trick, the new remaster that just came out of the 2010 puzzle mystery game. For this first segment of Ghost Trick, we will be playing through chapters 1 through 4. See you next time. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Here we go. Oh, I'm so glad I got to see Miles.
Yeah.